The preference of obstetric fistula in the country is very difficult to estimate. But an estimate is for every 10 homes, there could be one case of fistula. One case either from obstetric labor, or from cancer, or from congenital. For every 10 homes, there is one somehow fistula. We have patients who come from Samburu actually, West Pokot, East Baringo has also very high cases, and I think there's a bit of an association between FGM and obstructed labor in some of the cases, and fistula. And then the North Rift, there is quite a high cases there, workload. And then we go down to Nyanza, Siaya, very high again because of early marriage, early delivery, home delivery. Then Migori, very high, Transmara. Those are some of the areas that we see high numbers of patients coming. The myth which is associated with the fistula is maybe unfaithfulness, witchcraft, because most of those ladies who get fistula, they also get the babies die in the process. 90% of their babies die in the process of delivery, and some of those patients will get into fertility problems. They cannot give birth again. So coupled with leakage of urine and stool, the community feels that it's a curse. So they actually keep quiet. They don't want to talk about it. And most of the women are thrown out of their marital homes. They are divorced, most of them. So that's why they have this fear of actually even coming out to speak about it. So it takes even our former patients to convince these women that they can get treated, and this condition is not a curse, it's not witchcraft. So there's a lot of community issues around fistula, and when we continue speaking around it, then I think maybe people will not fear anymore. They can come for treatment.
First, there is no awareness in most places. That's why you find a woman stays with 30 years, 40 years, 10, 20 years with fistula. The reason being, she doesn't know where she can get help from. Or that one who knows where to get help, maybe they charge for treatment. And these are women who can't afford the cash to pay for a repair.
When a doctor goes to operate a patient, for example, to remove the uterus due to cancer, fibroids, even cesarean section, inadvertently the bladder can be damaged, or the kidney tubes that bring urine out, called ureters, can be damaged, and the patient can have fistula during surgery. Cancer of the cervix can also cause fistula. Radiotherapy for cancer can cause fistula. Sexual assault, rape. There are so many girls who come here from different parts of the country post-rape who have fistula, sexual assault. They also cases of accidents, they also have fistula. And also there are those ones who are born, girls who are born with congenital, or they are born with fistula. So we have those kind of patients which we also deal with here. Yes. The majority is for obstructed labor, but another percentage, maybe 15%, is actually from sexual assault, cancer, radiotherapy, surgery from the doctors, a mistake in the surgery, and also maybe accidents also. Cases are rising up because what's happening now, like during the COVID times, mothers were not even coming to the hospital. They feared contracting the COVID-19. So they delivered at home. Then they are now coming back here with tears and tears and tears. So actually the numbers have literally increased. I think poverty levels have actually again increased. We can't say that poverty levels have gone really down. When you look at it, you can see people have no money, totally have no money. So they are not able to even get to the hospital. And when you are delivering at home, the consequences of that is likely obstetric fistula. So the numbers are actually increasing despite the fact that there's free maternity. Staff, workers going on strike. That means the facilities are not functioning. So the mothers have only one way, going to the villages and to the traditional birth attendants for maternity. So those are the things you're seeing. The trend is increasing up. The numbers are increasing. poverty levels are increasing because fistula is actually associated with poverty, and subsequently the numbers will still be up there. The other thing is for congenital, this is something that a person cannot even know until the baby is born. That's when you find that, this patient has a problem with the bladder was not properly formed, or the reproductive system is abnormal, and that now requires an advanced surgical repair. And then the other thing is fistula from surgery. Doctors have done an operation, they have removed the uterus, they've done a cesarean section, and then you see a mama is leaking. This is where the problem is now. It requires us to go back to a drawing board and maybe retrain our doctors so that they have the good skills of performing this kind of surgery, so that they don't cause fistula, because a number of, I don't know the percentage, but maybe 10% of the patients whom I see have actually a fistula from a surgery, either cesarean or hysterectomy for removing fibroids. And these patients have a fistula. So you can see now the consequence of medically generated fistulas, which only can be prevented by training doctors properly. So those are the things I think I would say: prevention, training doctors properly, getting the patients to hospital in time so they can have a safe maternity, and also talking to this or training this mother, education to the mothers, communities, so that they can be able to identify danger signs so that they can get to hospital in time and save them from getting a fistula. And for those ones who are leaking at home, knowing that there is a hope at the end of the tunnel,